Welcome, everyone, to the CNC Side Hustle Show number 4. We're back this week with a exciting episode. I'm really excited about this one, just like all the rest. It's just really cool to be able to prep these, to be able to share with you. If I feel like I'm yelling, it's because it's raining out. We got this storm coming. So if you hear any big kabooms, it's just thunder and lightning. Don't worry. Everything's okay. But we got a good show tonight. We've got Guess the Price back. That one's been a crowd favorite. We've had that every time. We're also going to do How I'd Make It, where Eric shares a project with me, and I haven't seen it, and on the spot, have to tell you how I would make it. But most of all tonight, we're bringing something brand new to tonight's show, where you could win a spin on the Spindle Spin. Say that 10 times fast. Win a spin on the Spindle Spin. It's right here. I'll tell you more about it here in a second. But be sure to stick around. We're going to do that later in the show, where we've got some really, really cool prizes that you'll have a chance to win. So if you're new, welcome to the show. If this is your first time, welcome. This show is all about sparking new ideas, inspiring creativity, growing our side hustles, sharing strategies, trends, and ultimately my goal, the reason I started a show like this, was I want you to be fired up and ready to run to the shop. By the time this stream is over with, I want you to be so excited about creating with your CNC that you want to go do it. That's the whole goal of this show. So welcome. I'm so excited you're here. So this is something new. If you've seen the show a while, I got a new little thing here that I got to go over because it's really exciting. So the CNC Side Hustle Show, where did that idea come from? Well, I have an online course called the CNC Side Hustle. I see some of you who are in the audience tonight have taken that course. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because next week is the 1-year anniversary. Woo! We got to cue a sound effect. It's the 1-year anniversary of the CNC Side Hustle. So since then, over 300 CNC creators have gone through that course and have seen success, fast-track success for their CNC Side Hustle. So next week, the 1-year anniversary, we're doing a special promotional period where you can get $400 off the full price of the course. So we actually have raised the price of the course throughout the year, but we are this is a special promotional price that you're going to only be able to get next week for the 1-year anniversary. So there's a catch though, right? There's a catch to everything. But wait, there's more. This is going to be done through email, through my email list. So if you're on my email list, you are all right. But if you are not on my email list and you are interested in getting this offer, head to andybirdbuilds.com, scroll all the way to the bottom and put in your email address. And that way you'll get into the system before the emails launch next week, and you'll be aware and able to get that offer. So that's the only spiel I have for that. And we're just celebrating a year of the CNC Side Hustle. I'm super excited to be doing that, and super excited to see the success of so many creators and make money with our CNCs, right? All right. So if you have been here before, you know that we need questions. So, and how we do questions around here for the putting me on the hot seat on the last segment of the show is I don't stop to answer questions during the show, not because I'm mean and I don't want to, but what we do is we have a moderator, our moderator, Paul, from Bees Boards. You should check them out if you haven't checked out Bees Boards. They do fantastic work. But Paul, our moderator, is queuing up those questions for me, and they're going to be all at the end. So if there's a question at any time during the show, write it into the chat, and Paul is queuing them up, and I will answer them from the soonest submitted to the last submitted, and we'll see how many we can get through in about 10 minutes. Typically, we can get through most of them, but we'll see how many we can get through. So if you got a question, not like right now, but if a question comes up during the show, just write it in the chat, and Paul will take care of it for you. So with that, thank you for being here. let's get into our first segment. Welcome to How I'd Make It. It's always a tongue twister to say. I want to say How It's Made. Remember that TV show back in the day? How it still actually happens. I still watch it, How It's Made. But How I'd Make It. So in this show, Eric, our showrunner, off to the side, if I'm pointing to Eric or directing traffic or anything, it's because I've got someone pushing all the buttons and keeping this thing organized. He is going to put up on the screen a project that I have not seen before. And I'm going to break it down just off the top of my head, just by looking at it with you all. And you can do this exercise with me, is how I would make it. All right, so let's get started here. Eric, what do you got for us tonight? Okay, what do we call this thing? Like a standing desk. Yeah, there we go. It's a standing desk. That's really cool. I haven't seen anything like this design before. All right, so it's made out of plywood. So it looks like some 3/4 inch ply. And let's go with toolpaths next. So I would lay this out. This is obviously cut in what appears to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 individual pieces. A lot of them are rectangles. So these are just profile toolpaths with the geometry. And then something that's interesting is these little notches. Those little notches where it looks like almost like a guitar neck. You could do those. Those look like they're done. It's kind of hard to tell, but they look like they're done with a V bit. But you could probably do them with the same 1/4 inch end mill, or maybe even an 1/8 inch end mill. That's kind of cool. It's friction fit, I guess if you call it, gravity fit. But it's adjustable shelves. You can adjust the height based on those notches in there. That's really cool. I think that's a really neat design. Assembly. This one, honestly, I think it's designed to be completely mobile and modular. So you could pack this up in your backpack if it would fit and go to the coffee shop. That'd look kind of weird. You move the chair to the side and you pull up drinking your coffee with your mobile work desk. That's kind of cool. Finishing. Anything here with a clear coat, a polyacrylic comes to mind. It'll look really, really good. But honestly, this is a pretty simple project once it's designed. Like if you had this design already done, this would take minutes to cut out. And I think assembly is kind of good. I think another good option is this is flat pack, right? Like I talked about a flat pack in your backpack, but you could also flat pack sell these. It doesn't look like there's any fasteners or glue. So put them in a box, cut all the boxes or cut all the pieces. No assembly required on your end, just finishing and sanding, put them in a box and ship them. I like it. And that's how I would make it. All right, the crowd favorite, guess the price. Now this one's always fun. And one day we're going to add like some kind of contest to this. We've been brainstorming, trying to figure out how to add like Price is Right rules to this. But so stay with us here. And maybe there's eventually a prize for something. We've been talking about it. But anyways, so the way this is going to go is Eric, once again, is going to put some products up on the screen. But this one is for all of us. It's for you. So audience participation is encouraged, and it's a lot of fun. So we'll see who gets the closest of guessing the price of these products. Now, I haven't seen these products yet either. So I'm in the same boat as you. I'll kind of walk through what I'm thinking. I'll share, and you all share. We'll see how close we get to the prices. Okay, nice. I like fishing. So it looks like we got some fishing rod holders. These are, looks like they're holding, ooh, you got a couple different models there. Looks like we got, or is that the same one, just a different angle? Oh, it's on the ceiling, All right, so let's go with that one right there. Let's price this one. It's Eric is telling me it's 24 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rods, 2 pieces of wood, looks like pine. What do you guys think they're asking for these? All right, we got a couple in here. Yeah, get your answers in. Get your answers in. Nice, nice. Let's see here. Let's see. All right, so everybody's saying under $100. I think I agree with that. I think I'm gonna go with pine. Oh, let's see here. Let's. All right, I got my price. I'm gonna go with, and I have to say it before you reveal it, right? I'm gonna go with $45. All right, Eric, what is it? Whoa, 42. Man, we were close. Who else was in there? Who else was close? We've got 49, 55, 50, 45. We were on top of that one for the most part. Anybody have $42? I don't see a 42, but I see 45s, 49s. Great job, guys. That was cool. That was a good that's a cool project too. All right, next. All right. We are in baseball season. So this is kind of cool. Detroit Tigers wall pendant. So just the pendant, right? It looks like it's on another piece of wood, but it looks like that's like what it's hung on. Yeah, so that's just the wall. So just the pendant, the Tigers pendant. Painting here gives me nightmares. I'm not a big painting fan, but what are you all thinking? What do you all think this one is worth? Do we have a size, Eric? I think this is 24 inches, 24 to 30 inches, probably somewhere in there. Hangs on the wall. Eric's going to want me to make one of these. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. 60 if using pallets, like pallet wood. That's a good point. That's some rough lumber. We got 120, 125, 69. The first, the number one question is like, are they paying for the copyright? Are they paying for the the copyright? If they are, it's a lot more. And that's a story. That's not a story. That's a 75 for Tigers, 150 for Astros. It's a good point. Like, I think the team probably does matter. You went to a low budget team. I'm trying to think, like what, Tampa Bay? You went to Tampa Bay Rays. People are it's like $10. Yeah. So, all right. I'm gonna say 75. Whew, 130. Okay. 130. Anybody close? Well, John R said 120. We got 100. Anybody? 130. There's a 130 up. Scroll up a little bit. There you go. 130. You were close. Nice. Cool. Good job. Yeah, that's Eric's going to want me one of those for his birthday. All right. So it looks like here, our next product, Caden's Garage. So you're going to have to help us out with size a little bit, Eric, but this looks like Hot Wheels. Like Hot Wheel cars or even bigger cars, really, right? So 30 inches tall, probably the similar width. And yeah, it has the drop down so you can drive cars. It's almost like kids' car storage, which is kind of a cool thing. I really like the personalization on this one too. You can put someone's name on it. Well done. Looks like there's some dog bones in there, joinery, some fillets. That's what they're using for some of it. Cool. This is pricey. This is pricey. I don't know. I feel like you're tricking us with this one, and it's going to be like IKEA furniture, $49.99. But what should someone charge for this, right? Let's see. I'm gonna go with a $249, a $249er. Yep. Oh, nice. All right, I was 15 off. Anybody have two? Oh, we had a 230. What was it? 234. Rick Jackson was a dollar off. Nice job, Rick. 250s, 250s, 200s. Okay. Yeah, over 200. I think a lot of people were really into the $200 to $300 range, which was I think is accurate for that. It's well made too. I like the design on it. All right, we got one more. That's it. Oh, that's it. All right, I was getting excited. I was like, one more. All right, good job, guys, on that. So remember, pricing is so hard, and pricing is perceived, right? But I always, if you're struggling with pricing at all, remember the three components are your material cost, your time, and profit margin. Everybody forgets the profit margin. And so what I always do is in teach is materials plus time times 1.5 or something along that line. So like if you had a 30% profit margin in there, 20% profit margin, that gives you some room for some consumables, electric, power, bits, things like maintenance, those things that are really hard to quantify, but you're covered there. And so, but other than that, I take I actually did it today. I priced a project today. That is a 1 of 1. There was no replica out there that I could look at what someone else is charging. And so I did material time and times 1.5. So it sounds like we're getting the job, which is good. All right. So, yes. Now it's time. All right. So this is new. This is new here, but now it's time to open up the Spindle Spin. No, you don't win that. No one's winning that. What I just spun. But this is how this is going to go. Let me run through my notes here. So it's time for the giveaway. And what we're going to do is this is all being ran through our stream here. And so in the chat, all you need to do to enter is put hashtag AndyBirdBuilds. Now, we did our research here, and you could put it in 100 times, and it's only going to count as one entry. So you don't need to spam the chat. There's not more entries. It's just one entry. So you put hashtag AndyBirdBuilds. Have you opened it yet? Okay, it's open. So you're good to go. You're good to go to start doing that. It's going to be open all the way through our next segment here, and then we're going to do the giveaway at the end of our next segment. So, excuse me. So we're going to pick someone. Actually, the stream is going to pick the stream. Software is going to pick somebody random. It's going to come up on screen. Everybody's going to see that. And the one thing here is you do have to be present to win. So we're going to make sure you are here in the stream. And then that winner is going to win a chance to win on the Spindle Spin. There's so many wins and spins. So what do we have? What can you win, right? Like, why would you enter something that you don't know what is win? You could win a bad haircut or something. That's not the case. But you must be present to win. So what we've got here tonight is we've got, starting with the lowest value, we've got free project files. We've got a router bit. We've got, let's see, what's next here? We've got, I should have started at the lowest value, but the really low value. But we've also got a 30-minute coaching call with me, Andy. We've got, we've got, this one's really fun. I added this one in, and my team was like, this is a bad idea. And I was like, we're going to do it. So it's one where everyone wins a free project file. So we're going to figure that out. But if it lands on that one, everyone wins. And then let's go back. So where is it at here? The grand prize is a free ticket to the CNC Side Hustle. So you will get a free entry into the CNC Side Hustle, free access. That's the word I was looking for, access. There's one of those. And then, I don't know if you've seen it, but there is one loser. So everyone can win. No one can win. All options are on the table. And my advisors, it's really not that, Eric and my wife. But they're like, don't do that, Andy. And I'm like, no, I'm doing it. So I'm excited about that. And so that's how it's going to go. So you can enter by hashtag AndyBirdBuilds in the chat. And we will pick a winner to spin, and then you will win whatever, or lose whatever you land on. So a lot of fun. Yeah, I think that's all the details we need on for the giveaway. Like I said, entry is going to be open until the end of this next segment. So it'll give you, 5 or 10 minutes to enter. All right, let's jump to our next segment. All right, welcome to Potholes. In this segment, we had this segment last week as too. This was a lot of fun. I remember I leaned back. You got to steer around the potholes. But in this segment, I'm going to share a common pothole that I see CNCers get caught up on, slowing their forward progress, sometimes getting a flat tire and giving up. And so I want you to avoid those potholes. And then I'm going to share a pothole and some strategies on how to get around it. All right, so picture this. Well, okay, pothole, what's the name? Is not testing the market. Hear me out on this. Let me know if this sounds familiar. You pour hours into designing, cutting, finishing, and even packaging a batch of products, only to realize no one wants them. Or at least not at the price or style you picked. Now you're stuck with inventory and frustration. All that work and nothing to show for it, which I would argue there is something to show for it, but there is no monetary value to show for it. So this is such a common mistake I see CNCers make, including myself. I've made this, and I still make this to this day. You get really, really excited about a product idea, and you convince yourself that it's going to be a big, it's going to be big, and people are going to love it. Like in your head, you're like, and man, I'm notorious for this. I'm like, I get an idea and I just want to run with it, right? And I want to execute it. And like, it's going to be so much fun and everybody's going to love it because I love it. And because I love it, I assume other people are going to too. That's where I get in trouble. As boring and as fun and as not fun as it is, we need to slow down in these moments. From my experience, I need to slow down and I need to test. Check the water before you jump in head first. Here are some strategies to help you through this, so that have helped me. And the first concept is to get, this is an idea, marketing term out there, business term. It's called an MVP, which if you're not familiar with that, I do talk about it in the course, but it's a minimal viable product. So what is a minimal viable product? Well, it is the minimum that you can do, that you can put in to have a viable product where you can test the market, or you can test an aspect of a product. So we need to think MVP. What's an MVP? Now, this is for new products, right, that you're excited about, but also existing products. I think we can really get in trouble where we see someone else doing well, and we're like, oh, it does well for them, it must do well for me. And there's so many factors that we need to test because that's just not true. Like I said, B's boards, Paul and B, they do a fantastic job with game boards, but they've had a ton of success with cribbage boards. And an example that I often use is they live in the Northeast, and cribbage is big in the Northeast. It's big in Canada. But if you went to Texas and to Houston and tried to sell cribbage boards, it's a lot less common down there. And so like if you're from Houston and you saw Paul and B and you're like, oh, that like they're selling those and that would work really, really well, maybe it's not going to work in your local market. So we need to test our MVP. And here's how we do that. We start small. So that means don't go buy a bunch of material ahead of time. Don't be like, these are going to be a hit, I'm going to go buy material for 50 of them. Well, I've heard stories over and over again where people have pallets of material sitting in their shop because they thought a product was going to be big. Use inexpensive wood or scraps at first. I think I was actually on a coaching call today and with somebody, and it's interesting. It's not them, it's everybody. It's just an example that I was reminded of today. It's like it's this idea that you have to perfect your product before you bring it to the market and test it out. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I think a lot of people are worried about bringing junk to the market. And I think if it's a final product, like if you put all your final touches on it and you bring it to the market, and it's a miss, and maybe people are like, I don't like that style or that design. Well, you just wasted a ton of time thinking or trying to finalize something or perfect something that was going to be a miss, no matter whether you perfected it or not. So back to MVP, we need to, even if it's out of a different material, out of a cheaper material, and just getting the concept out there for people to visualize. So another thing that's worked really, really well for me is getting in front of people early. I just talked about that a little bit. Whether it's a photo of a mock-up, whether it's in Vectric, whether it's a rendering, I'm a big fan of making your mistakes in the software before you make them in the real world. They're a lot less cheaper and time consuming in the software than they are outside. All right, a couple more things here. You could run a soft launch where you list a product on Etsy or you list it on Facebook Marketplace. Something where it's you're just putting feelers out and you're trying to get feedback. You're not looking at, so I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because that's a whole different pothole. But look at not just sales, but look at likes, look at views, look at saves, not just purchases. And so all that data can be helpful, especially when you're starting to compare multiple products together. You can build some data and really see what is resonating. So the next one is ask for honest feedback. Message a few friends, a few people that you trust, people that would be interested in the product as well, and be like, hey, what do you think about this? Like, I'm not trying to sell this to you. Do you like the size? Do you like the color? Do you like the shape? What do you think would make it better? And listen to that. Get out of your own way and listen to that and take it into consideration. So, and then the last step is adjust and retest. So tweak based on real feedback before going all in. And I think this last part here, remember, if sales are your goal, which we're here, the CNC side hustle, I'm going to assume you're making this to sell for money. You can't make a product that only you like. That's a good way to go out of business. After all, you're not the one buying it. So as much as we love something or want somebody else to love our products, we're not making it for ourselves. And we can't force people to like what we like. So we need to make what other people like, if money is our goal, because after all, we're not pulling the money out of our pocket, someone else's. All right. Real quick before we get to the giveaway, remember, if you've got any questions, I don't know where we're at in questions, jump in the chat right now. If you've got any questions swirling in your head, jump in the chat and drop any questions in there. You got, whether it's about the pothole, how to avoid the pothole, or just comments. If you got any comments on it, you disagree with me, that's cool too. Or share some stories that where you've ran into that. I mean, I know I've made that mistake several times. Or ask a question about pricing. Ask a question about the products that we talked about earlier. and let us know. I'm going to be on the hot seat, and so you can pepper me with questions. All right. Now it's time for the giveaway. All right, here we go. It's giveaway time. Eric is going to put the thing up on the screen where we randomly pick someone's name, and then, like I said earlier, that person, we're going to verify that they're here, and then we are going to spin the Spindle Spin. Whew, that is tough tongue twister. All right, Eric, who is going to spin the Spindle Spin tonight? And who do we got? Ronnie. Ronnie, are you here? Just right here, if you're here. Ronnie's going to be the first one. Who do we got? All right, Ronnie, we'll give you like 30 seconds. Ronnie. Ronnie, are you in the house?
If he's not, we'll spin again.
Yep. If Ronnie's not here, then we're going to spin again. Well, we're going to pick again. That's not spinning. All right, Ronnie. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2. Ronnie, please, Ronnie. I want you, Ronnie, to spin. 1. All right, spin it again. All right, everybody's back in. Let's see here. Let's see. We've got Pineapple. Pineapple's Barbecue. I know he's here. He just said congrats, Ronnie. Pineapple. Pineapple. I know you're here. Yeah, that's you. Okay. All right. So picture Pineapple. This is your hand. I can't make you spin it, but you are spinning. You're spinning the wheel of. No, you're spinning the Spindle Spin. All right. So here, can we see right here? I'm gonna move this right here. All right. I went over the prizes. Oh, Ronnie, I'm sorry, man. You're just too late. We had to respin. We gave you 30 seconds and didn't see you.
It'll probably be a loser.
Yeah, it'll probably be a loser anyways, Ronnie. All right, so Pineapple's going to spin here. We're going to see what goes on, what happens. Are we ready? And I did test this. Doesn't land on loser every time. All right, here we go. A 30-minute coaching call with me, Andy. Nice. Congratulations. That's exciting. I'm excited to meet with you and see what you got going on. So to do that, Pineapple, email and only Pineapple. I don't want to see any other emails out there saying you won. Just email support@andybirdbuilds.com. Say, hey, I won, and Miranda will get you set up, and we'll do a half an hour coaching call where we'll talk about your CNC business or business in general. Maybe you don't even own a CNC. I mean, you own barbecue or Pineapple's Barbecue. Maybe we'll talk about barbecue. That's cool too. But I'm looking forward to meet you in chat. So email support@andybirdbuilds.com. That was fun. If you guys got any feedback on that, I'd love to hear it too. And we'll see. But we're not done yet here. We're not done. We've got the rapid fire Q&A. All right, rapid fire Q&A. I am on the hot seat. We need some more questions. If you've got any more questions, if not, then I'm just going to riff here, and I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'll talk about something. I'm good at that. But if you got any questions, feel free. Maybe another one will spur as I'm answering these other questions. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. MB asks, do you teach Shapeoko 5 Pro? Yes. I don't teach it as in like courses or consulting or anything like that, but I do teach it through my YouTube videos. And I in the CNC side hustle, everything I recommend and kind of teach on is the Shapeoko and the Avid CNC. But that's what I recommend. I started with a Shapeoko. If you don't know, if you haven't followed my story from the very beginning, I started with a Shapeoko 3 XXL 7 years ago, and I've upgraded to an Avid, which is a completely different caliber of machine. But when it comes to hobby machines and hobby business machines, Shapeoko is what I recommend. It's because it's what, honestly, I would not be here today where I'm at with CNC without Shapeoko. So there are other quality machines on the market, but I would also argue don't look at just the machine. You're buying much more than the machine. But yeah, hope that helps. Not another tech guy. Oh, not another tech guy. Looking to get into CNC as a side business and a full-time thing when I retire in 10 years. That's fantastic and very common. I know a lot of people that do that. IT career guy for 25 years. Hey, where are all my IT guys in the audience? So one of the trends that I have found is there are a lot of IT guys that get into CNC, which makes total sense. You wouldn't think it from just from the outside, but it is a very, very common thing. So I've got a lot of IT guys in my free Discord community, a lot of friends that are IT guys into CNC as well. There we go. We got some. Oh, did I do that? Thumbs up. Anyways, so many different CNC machines and software. What's your recommendation to get? I kind of just touched on this again. So my recommendations, you cannot go wrong with. It depends. I'll preface this. Depends on exactly what you want to do. Depends on your budget. But you cannot go wrong with a Shapeoko. I don't think you can go wrong with an alt mill. And I know a lot of people that run Onefinities. They all have their issues, every single one of them, and they all have their positives. So it's just like buying a Ford versus a Chevy versus a Toyota. Pick which one resonates with you the best. And for me, it's Shapeoko. Now, I will say, software-wise, all roads lead to Vectric. I've observed this over and over and over again, and Vectric is the most popular software. Typically, VCarve Pro is the most used and most commonly used software. There's so many resources out there, so many files. You can't go wrong with it. It is pricey, but it is a buy once, cry once, and you will never have to make another software decision if you go that route. All right. GDS Woodcraft. What would you recommend as first selling advertising platform for a newbie as getting your business out there? Problem with just a site I'm finding is low traffic. Yes. So the thing with websites is you have to drive traffic to them. They don't drive traffic themselves. Maybe eventually with SEO stuff, but just very low traffic. So I would, for a newbie, it depends on personality, but if your personality is to talk to people, it's a absolute no-brainer that word of mouth is the most powerful advertising that you can do still today. If you are a little more introverted and you don't like putting your stuff out there, I think Facebook is a good place. I don't teach Facebook Marketplace because there's a lot of junk on there, but I know some people that are successful there. Etsy, another one that is, you can be successful, but it takes a ton of work. But another thing to think about too is driving traffic with social media, whether that be Instagram, whether that be Facebook, whether that be YouTube, is driving your own traffic by creating, whether it's pictures or small videos. That's a way to. But every one of these ways takes work. That's the key. Is every one takes work, and I always say the more passive sales route you take, the more passive your sales will be. Zentenro, welcome. Saw you last night. So, Andy, how do you educate a customer without overwhelming them? Some products can be complicated. Complicated products don't typically sell. I think there's what's his name? This isn't my quote, but there's someone that one of these business gurus that I hear all the time, but one that's been doing it for a long time. I trust him. It's not like Dave Ramsey or anything. I just forgot what his name is. Anyways, what he says is people don't buy the best product. They buy the one they understand the fastest. And because people don't buy things that they don't understand. So breaking it down into, I think less is more, giving them the Cliff Notes version. And ultimately we have to remember what the customer is thinking. They're thinking, can this product do what I want it to do? Can this product fix my problem? Can it make me feel a certain way? Is it a good gift that my loved ones will love? That's all they care about. Because it's a value transaction. I'm giving money for you to solve my problem. All right. Stephen Bloom says, how well do you like your Avid? I love it. I love my Avid. I've had 2 Avids now, and I love my first one. I love my second one as well. They are actually, Avid is so what I love about Avid, and the reason I got one was that it is the biggest bang for your buck. When you move up, like the Avid, you say the value that you get performance wise, experience wise, for the price point can't be beaten. And that's mainly due because you have to assemble it. That's where they save money. But if you don't mind assembling, you're in it. They do fantastic instructions. They could just sell their instructions. They could be an instruction company. They're so good. But I love my Avid. It's a workhorse in a completely different league than Shapeoko or Altmill or Onefinity. Completely. I don't think people realize and that's partly on me. They don't realize the performance difference in those 2 classes of machines. Oh, Glenn says best spoiled board design. Okay. Best spoiled board design ever are dog holes and PVC. My friend Broen Wood, my friend Nick, does a fantastic job of this. And so that's where I first saw it. It's where you have your holes, 1-inch diameter holes into your wasteboard. You're putting maybe 2-inch pieces of PVC, 1-inch PVC into those holes. And then you're using, and you do that all the way around, and you're using wedges. It is a genius way and the best way. Kevin, my spindle came in today. Yeah, nice. Upgrade from router 110. Can I increase my feeds and speeds? Yes, you totally can. One thing to think about is work holding. If you do that, that was one of the things that I really underestimated was I couldn't necessarily hold things the same way because I was running them. My work holding was insufficient, really. And then when I jumped up to a spindle, it was really insufficient. But yeah, you totally can. Centero, real walnut or walnut stain? What has better ROI? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm just gonna, I have to say depends. I know that's not a great answer, but it just depends. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Depends. What's the best way to get your product into a small store? Walk in and tell them that, hey, I'm local, I make these, and would you be interested? I think that is the best way, the most direct way. And if they say no, then you go to the next one. If they're the only one in town, then and they say, no, I'm not interested. You turn around. You should probably do this if there's more than one store as well. You say, oh, okay, no problem. What would you be interested in? Is there anything that you're struggling to source? Is there anything that you wish would be different or better or faster? Because the one thing that I learned working with small stores was, and this is with everybody, this is sales and business in general. If you can't solve a problem for me, then I'm not going to give you any money. So products are all about solving problems. You just have to figure out the problem, identify the problem that they have, and then come up with a creative solution. And that's what businesses are. Jared, looking to make my designs a full-time hustle. Any advice on what products would generate the best income when using a 4x8 industrial machine? I'm very efficient using Aspire and 3D modeling software. Fantastic. Okay, so I would say, based on your experience, I would say signs. And I'm not talking like small wooden signs. I'm talking Corofoam, exterior business signs. I think that is where your money, like where your skill set would work the best. Check it out. Corofoam, exterior signs, some great money in that. And with your skill set, I think that would be great. All right. That was the last question. Woohoo! What do you guys think? Did you guys have fun tonight? Man, I hope if you had a rough week, a hard week, or just a normal week, that this show becomes a beacon of light that you look forward to, that you can kick back, relax, we'll have some fun, do silly games like this, but also learn some really cool stuff. So I hope you're inspired. I hope it lit a spark underneath you. You got a new idea and you're able to run with it. Don't forget to go to andybirdbuilds.com, scroll to the bottom, put in your email address if you want to, get on our email list. We don't just spam you. We do send out a newsletter once a month. So you can jump on there and get that as well. And then obviously get all of our deals and other stuff as well. But it's not just a marketing thing. Don't get me wrong. There is a lot of value that comes through there as well. But one thing I need to do before we go, thank you, Eric, for reminding me, is our channel members. Usually I do this at the beginning of the show, but today we're going to do it at the end of the show. So thank you, channel members. We have the same channel members as last week. So we currently have 11 channel members. And this is a way just for you, if you're enjoying the show, to show us some support. And if you want to learn more how to become a channel member, we give shout outs every week. And your name is on the wall of fame. So I don't think a lot of people realize this. You can go back and watch this afterwards. And so this is recorded. So it's on the internet forever. So you are on the CNC Side Hustle show. And this week we've got Johnny Gardner, Technotan Australia, David Mercer, Gary Nixon, Monte Jones, Aaron Newton, Bill Walker, Earl Mahaffey, Net News Ledger. Wow, it's tough. Roland Glidden and Randall Jenkins. Thank you guys so much for your support. It means a lot to us. And it's just a simple way of being like, thumbs up, guys. Good job. Keep bringing us the show. So with that, we got another one. Hey, Pineapple. You caught it perfectly, just in time. Pineapple Barbecue and Woodworking became a YouTube member. Right on. Thank you for becoming a channel member and supporting us. That means a lot. I'm really looking forward to our one-on-one 30-minute talk. Thank you for that. So, what I was saying, Pineapple rudely interrupted me. I'm completely joking. Thank you for that. But now it's your turn to go out to the shop and make something cool.